Alright students, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to one and all. This is myself Shabnam as usual from the code Ark, and we wish you all a warm welcome at day 6 of our Python SQL Django series. Okay, which is in continuation with the full stack web development series. Alright, otherwise audibility, visibility all set to go ahead. Please acknowledge to us in the chat section. Alright, fine. Let's quickly start. Let's have first of all a very quick recap of what we have seen yesterday. Correct? That was a string part 2. Is that correct? Fine. The day before yesterday we started working with strings, people. And these were the different string methods we discussed in the class yesterday. Good? Fine. Okay, so if I say India is my country, that is what is A. And if I say A dot capitalize, clear. Thank you, Shreyas. Fine. A dot capitalize. Right. So only first letter turns to capital. Is that okay? Fine. Okay. Most of the problem that was with my VS Code, we have kept it troubleshooted today. So hopefully that won't hinder us. Okay. This is what I was asking you yesterday. Like if you want to run just a part of the code in the program, you don't have to run the full program. You want me to slow down here? I repeat the point again. Like if I click on this triangle button, which stands for run file or execute the file, it's going to execute all the code present in this py file. But if you want to run only part of the code, then just keep your cursor on the current line, right? And if it is more than one line, you have to select it, right? And say shift enter. You find your output on the screen or on the terminal. Correct. Fine. So Mumbai is a city, and if I want to count the word city, so the function is count here, which is str.count. Okay, so the count occurs total one time. And if I want to check whether Mumbai is a city, this ends with pty or not. So it's false because it ends with ity or y or ty. Is that okay? Fine. This is yesterday's code what I am talking today. Fine. Okay, then if I could say something like, okay, center was to align the string in the center by leaving some spaces from the margin. Then we had a command called as find, people, to find a particular letter or word. Am I okay? Fine. When I say find I, it will return the index number of the first occurrence of I. Alright, you might have practiced all this back home, correct? When you are attending the next lecture, we assume that you might have given hands-on practice to the code of the last class. That makes a very big difference. आप हमारे साथ synchronization में साथ चलोगे, so you won't lose anything. Okay, and if I write R find, that means it will find the first index of I, but in the reverse way. Alright, start searching I from the end of the string, not from the beginning of the string. Otherwise, is alpha, is digit, is alphanumeric were the other functions that we saw. Is lower, is upper. Like it tells me true, yes, Python is in lower case. But if I write Python like this, P-Y-T-H-O and still N, false, because there is still a letter which is in, there are still so many letters which are in upper cases here, correct? So either all should be upper or all should be lower to return true or false. Yeah, good evening everyone. Okay, to return true, let me say. What else we had done yesterday? That's it? Okay, fine. Alright, so these were the different functions I told you. They are important. So let's start the tutorial and discuss them one by one. Okay, so the first function for the class today that we do is join. Now what join does, let me first keep in front of you the definition. Converts the element of an iterable into string. Okay, now this word in Python, this jargon, people, this technical term in Python I'm using first time today, iterable. Maybe from the class tomorrow this will become our very normal habit. Okay, fine. Look what exactly it is. Python in general calls all these as iterable, like list, set, dictionaries, tuples, and few more, but I stop here. Right? That is a collection data type. Which is the collection data type. Python ideally call them as iterable. So all the element present in this iterables are converted into string using join function. For those who did not understand this technical definition at all, relax. I give you one simple example. Okay, check it out. This is my list, suppose. Say the list of fruits. Although I have already kept one created up, let me still do it. Say apple, mango, banana, and I stop here. If you say print fruits, fruit is a variable, so I won't write it in quotes. I run this, I run this. Okay, so you could see print fruit has printed fruits as a list as it is, correct? Fine, but I want my output something like this: apple hyphen mango hyphen banana. So this is where we make use of join function to join all the elements of an iterable and convert it into a string. So see, how does it work? Okay, how does it work? Let me take a new one. Say my fruit is equal to, okay, is equal to hyphen dot join fruits. Let's do the other way around. First, let me run this code. 1 minute, please. I run a blank line. Okay. Just a moment. Let me say print my fruit. Okay, this is what I was missing, and I was wondering where is the output. Correct. So you could see join function has joined all the element of my list by a hyphen. Okay, so this is basically the syntax of join. That is the syntax of join, people. The character which you want to join the elements by. Okay, so this is a special character. Dot and the join method. Fine, and inside the join function we give an argument where whose elements you want to join with this character. Correct? Who is the iterable? Who is that list? Who is that set, or who is that dictionary जिसके elements you want to join by this character? Right? So my list name was fruit, therefore I wrote it fruit. Correct? And suppose if I want to join apple, mango, banana with comma, so I better write here comma dot join and the join function fruits. Let's see it works or not. Okay. Let me say a is equals to and then print a is equals to, okay, and okay. Correct? No, it's a string data type. Yes, Navin, not fruit, my friend. Fruit is not a string data type. Okay, if you check the data type of fruits, okay, if you check the data type of fruits, that is still a list. Because we joined all the elements of the fruit with comma and stored in A. So if you print the type of A, that is string. Navin, is it clear? And others also, if you're thinking the same thing. Right. So if I say A is equals to, so I want to join all of them with hashtag. So this is a character, I want to join all the elements of my list with, I repeat, this is a character hashtag that I want to join all the elements of my list with. Make use of join function because it joined the particular iterable with the character and return it in the form of a string. Got it? That's the reason it's a string function. Yes. Okay. So if I say fruits, right? So this is how it looks. I say print A. Correct? So apple, hashtag mango, hashtag banana. Alright, fine. Say I have some information as a date. Okay, say DOB is a birth date and I have stored it in a set, people. Anything that you declare in the curly bracket in Python is a set. Okay, most probably tomorrow or maybe in the next class, next to next, I'll tell you the difference between list, set, tuples, and it's a long story that can't be spoken in one line unless we know the theoretical concept of it. Say this is, let me say day. Okay, so say the birth date is 12 February 1996. Okay, but I don't prefer the format of date of birth like this. Are you getting it? Okay, I don't like the date of birth format. I don't prefer it like this. Okay, so what do I do here is, let me say B is equals to or A is equal to or DOB only. But if you write DOB, the set will be replaced by string. Okay, so B is equals to, let me say with hyphen, I join elements of DOB. Understood? Okay. Print DOB. Okay, print B. Hoping you are understanding. Alright, this is how I did. With hyphen I joined all the elements of DOB. People, acknowledge to us here in the chat section, are you understanding the different applications of join? These functions are really very handy in some of the operations that require manipulation upon the string. You understood? For example, fetch all the names of the players from the list and separate by comma and convert into string. Alright, say Indian cricket team is equal to, this is the name of the variable, cricket team, or team is equal to, and in the list I have declared all the names of the players there. No, but I want the names of the player to be returned as a string. So let me join all the names by comma and convert into string. I hope you got my point. Concept clear? Fine. So this is how the join function work. This character could be any character. So even if I write here Y, are you understanding? So the join character this time is Y. So even if I write here as R, so the different elements of that list is joined by, or the set, it is joined by R. Okay, yeah, it could be any character, alphabet or a special character. Alright, anyways, no doubt from your side in the chat box, so I go ahead. In case if there is any still twisting question in your mind, raise it up. Fine. So this was all about the join. Okay. Now let's see how split works, people. Split. The name itself tells what it is going to do. It is going to split the string into substring. Okay. It splits the string into substring. Of course, specified by a character, letter, whatever you call. I'm writing a character. Okay, now this is the formal definition of how many experts write about split. It split the string at the specified separator and returns a list. List return करता है. So have a look. Okay, let me see you understand what am I doing here. Mumbai is a clean, neat and a good city. Okay, and I'm splitting this string with respect to comma. People, before the output comes, can you tell me how the two split it, टूटा हुआ, split का मतलब वही होता है, right? टूटा हुआ. What two or more than two it could be also. How the two or more than two splitted string will look like. What will be the output? So Mumbai is a clean. Space will also be considered. But because comma occur, it will break. Means this is the first string. Okay, comma is not included, that is a separator. छोड़ दो, comma के बाद से continue करिए. So space, need, space, and space, a space, good, space, city, space, till here. Okay, because after that further no more comma were found. So this will how the comma split one string into two strings. Or it could be more than two if there were one more comma here. So let me see. Okay, so this is what you can see. Mumbai is a clean. Because the comma occurred here, it's a separator now, who separated from the other part of the string. Neat and good city. Yes, correct. I think Shiraz has written us in the chat section. So boys, what will happen now? Instead of comma, I give a space. I think I executed the output. Anyways, never mind. Okay, if I give a space, but you see there are so many spaces here. So every time a space comes, a string will be broken or splitted into a substring. Alright, and if you could see, the output is written not as a string, it is written as a list, correct? Alright, fine. For example, if I write this part and assign it to some variable, say b is equal to this part of the code, means whatever output comes after splitting, we have assigned to b. Okay, we have assigned it to b. And if I say print b, okay, so the b has been printed, and along with b also print the type of b. Type means data type, people, the type of b. So it's a list you will find here. B is no more a string. That is what is the meaning of the split function. It splits a string into substring based on a separator. But this substring will be the list. It is a list of substrings. Alright, so you see, every time there is a space, a string was splitted. Mumbai is a clean. Even comma is considered as one of the substring, correct? क्योंकि यहाँ पर भी आगे पीछे space था, देखिए. Right? If I remove the space from here, suppose, right? So clean comma will be considered as one string because after that space occurred to break the chain, correct? Check it out. Alright. I think this one it is. Okay. This one people. Right? I hope you understand that. Concept clear till here, all of us. How to see the output in terminal. Navin, this is the terminal only, na? What I'm doing it. Okay, if you don't know how to open this terminal box, you can always do like this, view terminal. And you don't have to come till here. Even if you click on this button first time, it opens the terminal. Right? And if you're talking about the Python idle terminal, so this is always a terminal. I hope you got my point. This is always a terminal. Like if I say apple, banana, split. I don't know if this is what you're asking. Is it okay? If there's 2-3 answers that I said you, if it has answered your question, acknowledge. If not, then also. Correct? The output where comes, this is only what is a terminal. Is that okay? Fine. So this is how split works, people. Another point to be spoken is split is again a very important method of the string module. It helps us to make a lot of manipulation and operation on the string data easier. आपको एक चीज याद रखना पड़ेगा, none of these method actually changes the original string. Let me see how many of my intelligent friends understand what am I talking here. इनमें से जितने भी methods हमने जिनकी बात किया, none of them actually changes the original string. For example, if I write like this, say a is equal to India. Print A. Print A. So this is print A. India been printed. Right? Then I say A dot upper. Okay, so India converted into uppercase. But if you again write print A, no, but A has not changed. Am I right? A has not changed. Right? So any of these functions never originally changes the string, let me. So never changes the string originally. Is that okay? Fine. Alright. Good. So that is what is the meaning here. One last function from the string module I discuss, and then we stop the topic of string here. We stop the topic. Alright. And that is a replace function. Right? In fact, it's a very simple function to understand. Say this is my string. Let me say Python is a fun. Okay. And I replace fun in this string by funny. Right? So these are the two arguments you need to pass to replace. Replace people. What to replace? I repeat, what to replace and with what new string to be replaced. क्या replace करना है, किससे replace करना है. So what to replace and with what new string to be replaced. Right? So Python is funny. Let me see. Okay. One moment, please. There is nothing wrong here. It's my program which is misbehaving. Okay, fine. Ignore it, please. Okay, nothing wrong in the code. That was a misbehavior from my program. Clear. Fine. So you could see Python is fun. It's no more writing Python is fun. Rather Python is funny. Or instead of fun, if I write here as not fun. Write here as easy. Okay, so Python is easy. Right? Yes, of course you can change one word with multiple words also. Like instead of Python, I write here Python programming language. Okay, so replace Python by Python programming language. Alright, strings are immutable. Yes, Rakesh, strings are immutable. That means you can't change it. Right? I wasn't talking about this term because I want to tell you more about immutable in the upcoming iterables. Clear? Take it. Oh God, that's tricking me one more time. Okay, please ignore that. Okay, sometimes due to some indentation and all, we end up encountering an error. Okay, fine. So this time not Python, but Python is replaced by a Python programming language. So a Python programming language is fun. Yes, of course. That immutable means Navin, you cannot change. Okay, you cannot change it. For example, look. This is what Navin is asking. Say str is equal to Mumbai. Okay, str is equals to Mumbai. And if I want to check who is at index number 0 of str, it says M. Who is at index number 1 of str, it says U. Right? But first letter M, I want to change it to Z. That means this one. The first letter at index number 0, who is M, say I want to replace it with Z. No, it says sorry, it does not support item assignment. Means you cannot change anything here. Alright, आप यहाँ पर कोई भी चीज edit नहीं कर सकते. This is called as an immutable nature or behavior exposed by the object. Okay, so the object refuses itself to be edited or updated. Correct? I hope you got my point. What do you mean by globally here? You can't do that. Alright, what is the meaning of globally in your question, Shreyas? Right? You can't do that. Yeah, you can replace the word this way if that is what you want to say, global. Otherwise, string cannot be changed. See, the same thing if I wanted to happen here. City, and this is a list of cities, say Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad. Okay, I stop here. And I say city of 0. That means who is at index number 1. Check it out. So it says me Mumbai. But now I realize it should not be Mumbai, it should be New Mumbai. So I can definitely do like this. New Mumbai. Check what happens. Again print city. Print city. Okay. So the first element in the list is not Mumbai, it is New Mumbai. That means lists are not immutable. Is that okay? See, this is the difference between if you say list and a string. If you want this Mumbai का M to be converted somewhat, आपको चाहिए ही भाई, होना ही चाहिए. Alright, so let me say str is equals to list str. Okay, so now if you check what is your str, you see I converted this string Mumbai into a list. Friends, थोड़ा raise your ability of understanding. थोड़ा आपकी तरफ से कोशिश करिए, raise your ability of understanding. What was my question here? I added after what student asked in the chat section. Right? नहीं, anyhow किसी भी तरह हमको M को Z में convert करना ही था. So you will have to do the type conversion first. Means convert this string into some mutable data types. Like list, it's mutable, people. It's not immutable. Mutable means it can be changed. Okay? Immutable cannot be changed or edited. Right? Mutable. Okay? Means can be updated, edited or changed. I hope you understand my point. Is that okay? Fine. Okay. So what did I do here? That entire string I first converted into list. So now if you print that list, this is how Mumbai looks like. And now if I want to change M to Z, so str of 0 should be equal to Z. Print the string again. You see, it's not Mumbai now, it is ZUMBI. And convert this list back to string. So how do I do that? str. Am I right? Fine. Or let me use some other variable if you're getting confused. So a is equals to, convert it into str. Alright. What did I do here? Let me do like this. Wait. If that is the problem. A. Okay. Convert into list. Home str. Just a moment. Let me check what's the problem here. Okay, convert into string back and store it in some other letter. C. Okay, fine. I make sure I keep this troubleshooted. As of now, let me not waste the time. But hoping what you are asking is been understood, correct? Fine. So this is what we conclude the meaning of immutable. I just went a little ahead to make you understand how lists or strings are immutable, but the same thing you want, you can convert it into list and do it. I hope you got my point. Is that okay, ma'am? If you have 2 Python words, what is that, ma'am? I am asking about replace function. Should I ask the question one more time? Acha, 2 words if you're asking like this. This is how I understood now. Say Python is fun and Python is easy. Is that what you're asking? Python is fun and Python is easy, and then you're trying to replace Python with Python programming language. Is that? I hope you got my point. Correct? Fine. So this is how, no, my friend, made you. We aren't intentionally creating these immutable variables. They are by nature immutable. I hope you got my point. The one who is asking it how to create these immutable variables. Alright, if you really want to create this immutable variable, then rather prefer the, let me say an exact data type like a tuple. Alright, this is what the question made you is asking. For example, my friend, for example, tell me when do we want something not to be edited? Right, for example, let me say the past 10 years sales. Now the past 10 year ka sales is a historical data. It should not be updated or edited at any cost today. Alright, so we better prefer to make it as a tuple. Is that clear? So we better prefer to make it as a tuple. So your question should be like not how to create an immutable variable, but when to decide like which data type or which structure should be used. Alright, if at any cost I don't want Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad to be changed, so instead of creating it as a list, you should have rather created it as a collection type or the iterable type tuple. I hope you got my point. Shiraz, I hope your question is answered here, by the way. So if Python is 2 times, Python is fun and Python is easy. Yes, of course, every time Python occurs, that will be replaced by Python programming language and Python programming language. Alright, fine. Made you. If your question is answered, please acknowledge to us in the chat section. And if it is still not answered, even you say no. Okay? Take care. Point is done here. People, how does it replace both the time? इसने दोनों बार कैसे replace कर दिया? If you know, this feature is provided by Microsoft Word also. Like if I want to replace something here. Alright, it asks me find what? Say I want to find the word join. And I want to replace it with join, or let me say new join. Okay. So you look, there's an option here, either replace or replace all. So whenever it occurs, it's going to replace if you select replace all. Is that okay? So the same thing is happening here. By default, wherever Python will occur, it is going to replace it. Alright, all of us, people, we bring this topic of string to the end here. In fact, if you have seen, we have discussed string into a much depth and beyond limits. Alright, in just a minute to put up stuffs together, if you could just help me to collect the things about string that we discussed. First of all, what is string? How to declare multi-line strings? How to concatenate the string, correct? String concatenate kaise karna hai? Then how to format a string with 2-3 different techniques like format function, interpolation and f strings, right? Then we also understood what is string indexing, or what are the index numbers. Is that okay? What are the index numbers? What are the reverse index numbers or the negative index numbers? What is the meaning of string slicing? Okay, slicing means extracting a part of the string from a full string. I hope you got my point. What else to be spoken? And then we started with string functions and methods. So many methods that we discussed right from the day yesterday. Replace, understood. Take it. Thank you so much for that. Fine. Alright, guys. Now in the remaining part of the lecture today, we are not starting with any new topic. Let me first of all complete that one small pending topic from operators called as a bitwise operator. Okay, so here we go. Bitwise operator. Pay attention. Just a moment. Okay, bitwise operator. Alright, so these are the different bitwise operators, namely, let me write here in the notepad. Namely, ampersand, which is called as an AND bitwise operator. Pipe or a pipeline, which is called as an OR bitwise. People, this and this OR are not logical and an OR. Okay, no, they are not like that. It's wrong. Okay, this is called as a bitwise and bitwise OR. Then comes tilt, which is a bitwise NOT. This is not a logical NOT operator. This is called as a bitwise NOT. Then this cap symbol, people, cap, which you will find on keyboard with the number 6, digit 6. This is called as an exclusive OR or XOR. Alright. Then comes two right angular bracket called as a right shift operator. Right shift operator. And this one called as a left shift operator. Is that okay? Right shift and left shift. Now, although we are learning them, but throughout this course of time, we will ever use them, the chances are too less. आपको कभी ये use करना पड़ेगा, chances कम है. Alright. Number 2, this operators first of all deals with bits of data. That is double pipeline. Made you are correct. This is what a name I read here. Made you. 2 pipe is used to transfer data from one to another. Actually, you can't say transfer. It is actually connecting the output of previous command to the next command. Made you. Your question is answered. It isn't transferring the data. It actually connects the output of previous command as input to next command. What is the actual use of pipes? Right? Pipe कैसे काम करता है people? It makes the object flow from one end to another end. So if there are 2 pipes joined, output from one pipe will made to flow as input into another pipe. Is that okay? Fine. When the time comes right, I will talk to you about it with example. Alright, take it. So first of all these bitwise operator, they deal with the data in bits. Okay. It deals with the data in bits, people. Now, what happens in bits? Bits means binary bits, that is 1 or 0. Alright, it deals with the data in binary bits, that's 1 or 0. Number 2, people, number 2. This makes, okay, it is ideally used to make the performance of execution fast. Alright, so when a programmer is really very much bothered about an execution and performance criteria, right, we ideally prefer to work in terms of binary bits in the code. I hope you got my point. Is it okay? In terms of binary bits. Otherwise, the use of bitwise operator is very large, extensive. Unless and until you have proper knowledge about it, it doesn't make sense to use it. Alright, so it deals with binary bits. Now, what is this bit? How does it make performance faster? Listen to me one by one. Okay, now, this is the number, say 8. Now, you read it. Okay, you got it. Can you answer my previous question? I think your previous question I already answered. Made you. Still not? Okay, fine. I'll come back to you again. Give me 5 minutes of time. Okay, people. We have a number called as 8, but 8 is a decimal number. You understand decimal? Anything in the range of 0 to 9. Computer doesn't understand 8 when you type it. It converts rather 8 into its binary equivalent. That is ones and zeros. Okay, now how does computer convert any number into binary? It has its own algorithm. But for simplicity, this is how we understand. See, I write a number 1. Now you keep doubling it. आप इसको double करते जाइए. 2. Double of 2, 4. Double of 4, 8. Double of 8, 16. Double of 16, 32. Yeah, double of 32, 64. I stop here because 8 bits have taken the position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, these are actually the place values of 8 bits. And 8 bit make 1 byte. Correct? इसके आगे आप 64 को भी double करके 128 लिखोगे. So that will be the actually presentation of 9th bit and considered to be the second byte. Okay. Anyways, you don't have to break your head behind bits and number of bytes and all. Consider 8 bits. That's it. Okay. Now you take your time and tell me, to get number 8, which of these numbers in front of you I need to add. In fact, I don't have to add any. This 8 is already available here. So I will just select this bit and keep it 1. Rest all will go 0. like 64 0, 32 0, 16 0, 8 will be set to 1. I hope you got my point, right? And then this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Is that okay? So what if the number was 3, people? What if the number was 3? 3 is not ready-made available here in these numbers. So on adding which of these numbers, I'll get the sum as 3, 2 and 1, correct? So what will I do? All these bits I'll keep zeros. Okay, this is 0. Only 2 and 1 I set it to 1 1. So this is how 3 looks like in binary. This is how 8 looks like in binary. Last, what if I want 12? Or let me take 14. Come. Say I want 14. So 8 plus 4, 12, and 12 plus 2, that's 14, correct? 8 plus 4, 12, and 12 plus 2, that is 14. So I think 8, 4, 2 has to remain 1. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, 1, 1, 1, and this is also 0. This will make 14. Is that okay? Fine. Now the first binary operator, people, that is nothing but AND. Fine. What we have to do here is, see, this is the syntax X and Y, where X and Y are going to be the two operands. Okay? Okay, coming back to this point, X and Y, these are considered to be two operands. Suppose if I want to find 8 and 3. So this is 8 and this is 3. Let me first write their binary equivalents. 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 1, 1. This is 3. And 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. This is 8. Okay, now this is both need to be done here and, correct? Fine. Remember, AND gives an output bit as 1 only if both the input bits are 1. Okay, that means this is the first input. Say, let me say input 1. This is the second input, input 2. And this is the output. Okay, so the two inputs could be 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Means both the bits are zeros, people. And both the bits are 1s. Right? So only if both the bits are 1, means both the bits are high, the output will be high. Otherwise, the output will be low, that is 0. Okay, 0, again 0, and again 0. Alright, fine. So now tell me what happens. This is a binary equivalent of 3. We are trying to do 8 and 3. This is the binary equivalent of 3. This is the binary equivalent of 8. Start doing ANDing to them. We start doing ANDing to them. 0, 0, people. Both the bits are low. Outcome will be 0. Again, both the bits are low. Outcome will be 0. Both the bits are low. Outcome will be 0. Not both the bits are 1. Still outcome will be 0. 0, 0, and 0. Hoping you understand it. That means all the zeros in decimal will be also equivalent to 0. Are you understanding what am I talking? Fine. So how to check this is right or not? How to check? Fine. So let me say print 8 and what was that? 3, correct? 3, people. 3. 8 and 3. Okay, it says me 0. That's fine. So what will happen if I do 8 or 3? Come on, 8 or 3, people. Now, how this logic table for OR? This is for bitwise AND. Getting it? This is for bitwise AND. And the same thing if I try to do for bitwise OR. Okay, now what does bitwise OR does? Say this is input 1. This is input 2. And the output. Come on, the possible combinations of input would be either both the bits are zeros, or one bit is 0, one bit is 1, like this, or both the bits are 1. Right? So OR is not as strict as AND, like both the inputs should be 1 only for the output to be 1. Here, even if any of the input is 1, the output is going to be 1. right? Any of the input is 1, the output is also going to be 1, right? So here it results to 0 because none of the input is 1. Here at least one input is 1, so the output is 1. Again at least one input is 1, so the output is 1. Both the inputs are 1, yes, output is also 1. Alright, fine. So this was our question here on the Visual Studio Code. 8 or 3. First convert 8 into binary. We know what is 8 into binary. This is how 8 into binary looks like. Correct? 0, 0, 0. Let me do it here, please. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. 0, 0, 0. This is 8. This is 3 when converted into binary. I hope you got my point. This is 3. Made you see, I answered your question in between. What difference does it give for learning binary as a developer? See, how do we find whether a number is even or odd? You actually divide it by 2 and using modulus operator, check whether the remainder is 0. This is one method. Is that okay? There are many more methods. This is one method. Right? Now, if I try to check the complexity of this program using some algorithms like big O notation and all, right, this takes a very heavy toll on performance using this kind of operations. That is modulus or maybe the floor division, including the division. Understood? Moral of the story, this arithmetic operations and in fact many more operations also takes a heavy toll on the performance when executed on a large scale basis. Alright, आगे जाकर I will tell you, when you try to do XOR on any number, say 10, it reduces by 1. You understood? Right? For example, if a number is an even number, it reduces by 1, and if it's an odd number, it increases by 1, or maybe vice versa. There's a logic that works with it. Right? So there is another way like I can find whether a number is even or odd. I just take XOR of that number with 1. Like if there is 10, 14, let's take 14. Whether 14 is even or odd, instead of dividing by 2 and checking the remainder is 0 or not, alright, I just XOR this number. My friend, I just XOR this number by 1. Understood? या तो वो 1 से कम हो जाता है या तो वो 1 से बढ़ जाता है. Like it becomes 13 or it becomes 15. You understand my point here, right? If it becomes 13, that means yes, it's an even number because it got reduced by 1. And it becomes 15, maybe it's an odd number because it got increased by 1. I hope you got my point. So this is how one example of binary operation that help us to save from any other operation which would otherwise during runtime would have taken a heavy toll on performance. Made you. Is that example clear? Are you understanding? Fine. So if you try to do bitwise operation upon 14, in short, let me conclude that. जब XOR करेंगे तब आपको दिखाएंगे ये कैसे काम करता है in detail. Alright. So if you do the same thing with the help of bitwise operation, so first of all that operation help execution on the memory to be faster as compared to any other. Is that okay? Hopefully it is clear. Alright, fine. Otherwise, I'd already told you in the beginning, the chances that we are going to use them, it's actually less unless and until you are, that ethical programmer who always think about the cost of the program when executed on a live production server. Is that okay? Fine. See, my friend, not only for the one who asked, in fact, for everyone who are present here, girls and boys, coding does not always mean writing program. Understood? As a programmer, I need to keep this attitude in my mind कि मेरा लिखा हुआ कोड कभी भी कंपनी को या प्रोडक्शन सर्वर पे कॉस्टली नहीं जाना चाहिए. You understood? A program that can give an output in say 10 iterations, you are not expected to execute more than 10 or maybe 100 iterations there. Right? So the same task what other arithmetic operations might do, maybe division or maybe multiplication, would be very quick achieved using some XOR or let me say some bitwise operations or maybe some other memory operations like finding 1's complement, 2's complement, and make the performance of the application very, very fast. Alright, fine. I hope that's clear. I actually can give you many more examples here, but I think that would confuse others. That's the reason I restricted to a simple one of that even odd. Right? तो आप अगर वाकई में इतने इंटेलिजेंट प्रोग्रामर है, you think about, my friend, like this is called as a kind of green computing also. Think about the environment. Alright, this is a kind of green computing. Like you should keep in mind that the cost on the server is always less when it is executed. Alright, fine. I come back here. So that was bitwise and we are talking about bitwise OR. At least one input bit should be 1 for the final output to be 1. Correct? So this is 8 and this is 3. Look, this is how 3 looks in binary. We are doing this rough work behind people. आपको कभी ये सब करना नहीं पड़ेगा. Computer readily does it for you. But how the output came of 8 and 2 or 8 and 3 is 0. This is what we are answering, right? And when I do 8 and 3, nahi, 8 or 3, what the output will come? That is what we are understanding. Okay, so this is how we write 3 as maybe 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay, now try to do here OR. Come on, right? Both the bits are 0. So the OR will also result into 0. Again, both the bits are 0, OR results into 0. OR results into 0, but at least one bit is 1 this time. OR results into 1. This is resulting into 0. This is resulting into 1. This is again resulting into 1. Okay, so now tell me what will be the decimal equivalent of this. Okay, check. This bit is 1. And in decimal it stands for 1. Next one, this value stands for 2. So 1 plus 2, 3. 4, this position is 0 here. Then comes 8, so this position is occupied. That means I should write here like this. It is basically 8 plus 2 plus 1. That's nothing but 11. I think Rakesh has answered us there, people. He was quick to answer me back. 11. Correct? So this is 11. Okay. Here we go. 11. Correct. Alright, so this way you please keep checking many of them back home. If you have still not understood, go back through the video. Re-rewind the video later on. Try to experiment with different numbers. And ये आंसर कैसा देता है वो समझ आना चाहिए. How come 18 or 3? You look what it says. Okay, 18 or 3. This time it says me 19. So cross check. Cross check with binary numbers behind. Alright, you better cross check with the binary numbers behind. All of us here, fine. Okay, let's move on to the next operator. That is nothing but XOR. Okay, now what XOR does? It results 1 only if both the bits are different. Boys and girls, what do you mean by both the bits are different? That means they should be 1 0 or 0 1. The two input bits are different. But if the two input bits are same, like both of them are 0 zeros and both of them are 1s 1s, then the output will be low. Is that okay? I repeat the definition again. XOR, people. That's an exclusive OR. If both the bits are different, output will be high. Check it out how. Look, check it out how. If you allow me to work here only, or let me do this way. Come on. 0 0 0 1 0 0 0. This is 8. 0 0 0 0 0 1 1. This is 3. Correct? This is 8. This is 3. And we are trying to do XOR between the two. Is that okay? Fine. So what happens for XOR? These two bits are same. दोनों भी 0 0 है. Output 0. 0 0 0 0. The two bits are different now. 1. The two bits are different. Sorry, same. So 0, 1 and 1. That means I think again, is it giving me 11? Yes or no? The two bits are different. The two bits are different. Yes, it's giving me 11. Correct? So this is again giving me an answer that is 11. Hoping people are understanding. The two bits are different. Alright, fine. So if both the bits are different, that is 1 0 or 0 1. Check it out once. What was that? Okay, so that's here. Is that right? Yes, 11 for XOR also. Yeah, but coincidentally this time it came out to be same. वो हमेशा same होगा नहीं. Okay, people, what would be now? Tell me. अभी क्या होगा? Say the number is 8. First number is 8, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. And the other number to be XORed with is 1. I think 1 के लिए सब 0 रहेगा, एक last bit 1 रहेगा, because that is what is the value 1, correct? For 1 in these 8 bits, all the bits will be 0, only the last bit will be 1, correct? Fine. So this is how we are doing. Now try to do that. This is something which I was talking to made you. My friend, आपको मैं ये बता रही थी. देखिए, this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 and 1. Tell me what is the output now? Decimal में this is equivalent to what? This was correct. Shreyas is right, I think. This is equivalent to 9. Am I right? So if I write a code this way, 8 XOR 1. 8 को XOR किया 1 के साथ. If you get 1 incremented value, that means this number 8 is an even number. I hope you got my point. But if you get 1 decremented value, take some odd number. Let's take 15. Hurry up. How to write 15? How to write 15? 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 1, 15. I think the last 4 bits will be 1. Yes or no, people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. People, मैंने यहाँ पर 7 ही लिखा था. 128. This is 8, 1. Okay, so the last 4 bits will be zeros. And the first 4 bits I'm taking it as... last 4 bits 1. देखिए 8 plus 4, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 plus 1, 15. Correct? Let's write here. यहीं पर लिख देते हैं. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 15. And do XOR with 1. इसको XOR करिए 1 से. What is the answer? 0, 0, 0, 0. This is 1, 1, 1. How about the last one? 0, because the 2 bits are same, right? Only if the 2 bits are different, it is going to give you answer 1, correct? Fine. So this was what? 15. This is 1. I XORed 15 and 1, people. 15 को 1 से हमने XOR किया, right? Answer कितना आया final? 8 plus 4, I think 12. 12 plus 2, that is 14. Is that okay? So yeah, 14, correct. So this is in fact a quick method on the memory to determine a number is an even or not. If you XOR by 1 and it decrements by 1, that means वो odd. If you XOR by 1 and if it increases by 1, that means वो even. Alright, now if you compare the speed of execution of this program as compared to our old traditional method of writing modulus 2 equal to 0 or using for loop and incrementing the counter by 2, this gives a high execution rate. Okay, so this is how we make use of different tricks by the bitwise operators in order to achieve the speed or execution or many more. Is that okay? All of us here, people, fine? Okay, so these are some 2 to 3 operators from the bitwise list that we discussed, and maybe bitwise OR and bitwise XOR. People, bitwise NOT is very simple. If the number is 1, digit is 1, it converts to 0. If it is 0, it converts to 1. Okay, I won't go into the depth of bitwise NOT because for that you need to understand what is 1's complement and 2's complement electronically. Right? So we won't ever come across that scenario where we will need this bitwise NOT and all. So we skip it. I hope you got it. Fine. Now the 2 operator from this category is still remaining. That is right shift and the left shift. Right? This we will continue for tomorrow. Yes, this is to find out some loop also. Which loop, Navin? Which loop? I didn't get a question. Right? Hoping you understand. Now tomorrow when I see you back again at 5 PM, we will start with a new topic from Python, that is a list. People, this is important classes. Make sure that you are attentive. Okay, let's have a quick recap of what we have seen today. We started with the remaining methods of string, that is like a join function or maybe replace function, followed by which one was that? Join, replace and split, correct? Make sure that you give your hands on. Try to do all the exercise questions also, which I have already sent yesterday on the group in the word file. Correct? Then we started with the concept of bitwise operator, one last remaining group of the operator. Covered up almost all the bitwise operator except the two left shift and the right shift. These two we will be continuing tomorrow. Is that okay? Fine. Nice time spending with you all. And if you really like our efforts, work, then please do not forget to like, subscribe, share and invite to our tutorials many of your other friends as well. Okay, goodbye. Take care. See you back tomorrow.